In this video, we continue to consider the need for questioning decision criteria numbers, focusing on qualitative criteria. We need to educate decision makers to expect to see and hear about probability distributions, fuzzy sets, 5-number summaries, bounds on decision criteria, and confidence levels when they are provided with information on their decision criteria. Then we need to provide information in these formats. Beyond that, we need to socialize the need to avoid relying on a number when there are instrumental uncertainties. That means decision makers must be trained to ask for and insist on those distributions, fuzzy sets, 5-number summaries, boundaries, and confidence levels when these things are not automatically provided by their analysts. When decision metrics are non-numerical and qualitative, their uncertainty should be described in non-numerical and qualitative terms, or they should be qualified with confidence levels. If a risk metric is described as high, for example, the uncertainty can be conveyed with a statement like, "The assessment team considers the risk high. On a confidence scale from 0 to 100%, we are about 66% confident in this rating." The World Health Organization has developed a system for qualitatively characterizing uncertainty that may be useful to consider. It rates each of these 3 dimensions of the uncertainty of the qualitative decision criteria as large, medium, or low. We're going to use the more typical high, medium, or low. The WHO methodology requires assessors to qualitatively evaluate the level of uncertainty of each specified instrumental uncertainty, bearing in mind that the instrumental uncertainty may represent the cumulative effects of many smaller uncertainties. The level of uncertainty is essentially an expression of the degree of severity of the uncertainty, seen from the assessor's perspective. A scale ranging from low to high can be used to assess the sensitivity of the assessment outputs to changes in the other sources of uncertainty that have been specified. A low level on the scale implies that a large change in the source would have only a small effect on the results. A medium level implies that a change would have proportional effects, and a high level implies that a small change would have a large effect. The second characteristic of the uncertainty to be assessed as high, medium, or low is an appraisal of the knowledge base of each source of instrumental uncertainty. Examples of criteria for evaluating the uncertainty of the knowledge base include accuracy, reliability, plausibility, scientific consistency, and robustness. These criteria are shown as the labels on the rows. Let's consider low uncertainty as an example. If the accuracy reveals expected results and the reliability reflects best available practice, and the results are plausible with extended scientific backing, where the quality of the results was well analyzed, then there would be low uncertainty in our appraisal of the knowledge base. Take a look at the medium and large examples for alternative characterizations. The third characteristic of the instrumental uncertainty to be qualitatively evaluated as high, medium, or low is the subjectivity of choices of assumptions made for each instrumental source of uncertainty about the decision criteria. Let's take a look at the high uncertainty, the row on the far right. If there were ample alternative assumptions and few people would make the assumption that you made, or if you had no limitations on your data, you would have arrived at a totally different assumption. These all point to a large uncertainty. If your choice of an assumption is sensitive to another factor, this points to a high uncertainty. Finally, there's the influence of the choice to consider. If the assumption that you made greatly determines the value of the decision criteria, this also points toward a large uncertainty. The three dimensions of the non-numeric decision criteria's uncertainty are evaluated and summarized in a table like that shown here. This kind of table informs the decision maker about the reliability of the decision criteria in a different way than the subjective confidence statement presented earlier. In part 3 of this lecture series, we will consider quantitative ways to challenge the number.